Now joining the One Star Recruits podcast, we have a son of two accountants, the pride of Petaluma, California, and the #1 overall pick in this past June's Major League Baseball draft, Spencer Torkelson. How you doing today, Spencer?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We're good, bro. Welcome, man.
Thanks for joining the pod. You're an Arizona State guy, obviously, and so am I. And there's a lot to unpack in this interview, but I want to start with some family stuff because we had Scott Boras on the show last month, and he had a really fun interview for us. He gave us some crazy stories about him growing up and all this other stuff. And you became a part of that Boras Corporation family when you picked him to represent you. But, man, your parents have both been accountants for like 30 years. What the hell do you need Scott for?
Accounting and being an agent's like two different things. I'll be honest. If I had my dad call up the GM of some team, I don't know where I'd be right now. But, no, they can handle my tax return, but when it comes to talking to the big guys and making decisions and helping my career out, Scott Boras he's the man, and he's the best to do it.
I got you, man. You're in good hands. Like you said, everyone knows he's the best. And, that man told us he has 44 televisions in his house, and he has algorithms for everything he can think of, including like which baseball markets his clients should buy versus rent homes in. I'm sure he's talked to you about that. But what has been the most surprising or interesting thing you learned from Scott so far, or learned about him?
The most interesting thing, I can't remember off the top of my head, but
did he hit you with that story that when he was growing up on a dairy farm outside Sacramento?
Yeah, I knew that story. He grew up on a farm and was he went to UOP, played some ball there.
Yeah.
And,
how about this?
Grinder.
How about this, Spencer? He is a grinder. How about just a lot of our listeners were interested in like the courting process of Scott Boras. He's an intense guy just to talk to friendly over dinner because he means business, right? How was just that courting process? Was it chill? Was your heart pumping a little bit the first time you met Scott?
Oh, no doubt. Everyone knows who he is, and for him to schedule a meeting at breakfast, and we went to I think we went to breakfast the first time, and he kind of gave us his pitch at Boras Corp, and as soon as I heard that pitch from Scott and Champ and X and the guys that were at the breakfast, I knew my decision was going to be with them. I also had a couple other meetings planned out, but just to, make it a fair game and see what everyone has to offer. But the first meeting, kind of blew me away and everything they have to offer for their players.
You really impressed him because one thing he told us about you is he described you as having touch power, which is a term he kind of coined for a few guys who can basically hit any ball out of the park on any swing. And we just wanted to ask you, who was the inspiration for your swing? I know Johnny Gomes was another right-handed kid from your high school up in Petaluma he had a ton of swag and some success. Was it him?
I don't really model my swing after anyone. My swing evolved throughout the years of just repetition, I think, and I was lucky enough to have good quick hands. Some people say when I played hockey, the wrist shot, they said that helped my quick hands. So I don't know. I don't model my swing after anyone, but
I think hockey and baseball we had Tom Glavine on, and believe it or not, fun fact, he was drafted. I know you're 21, bro, so tell me if before, but he was drafted, Tom Glavine, before Bobby Hall and Luke Robitaille, who are great NHL players. So I agree with the hand-eye coordination. How is your ping pong game, hand-eye coordination-wise?
Oh, I'm nasty. Yeah,
You're
ping pong my game. I have a ping pong table at my house back in Petaluma.
Hell yeah. It's one of those sports that I feel like, too, when even when I just want to get my mind straight, I'll hop on a ping pong table and, tightens up my thoughts real fast. So hand-eye coordination, ping pong, bro, tied together. Let's talk about your family in Petaluma. I spent 10 great years in the Bay Area. We think a lot now here in Cali just about the fires and the stuff that's going through Petaluma as a whole. I know they have some crazy things like the ugliest dog competition for the last 25 years. I know driving through just on the way up to Napa and going through Petaluma just looks like such a cool place to grow up. Talk to our listeners a little bit about growing up in such a cool spot. You're 45 minutes from SF.
Yep.
But yet you're kind of still in that Marin County area, which is gorgeous. Talk to our listeners a little bit about that place.
Oh yeah, so Sonoma County as a whole is just a really beautiful place, and you're far enough from the city so you don't have all that traffic, but you're in this climate that's unbelievable. It gets a little chilly at night, but the summers are great. Pretty mild weather overall, but you got Napa. Everyone knows where Napa is because if they like wine, that's
For
where
sure.
a lot of the vineyards are. So you're 20 minutes from that, 15 minutes from Sonoma, and then right in Petaluma. I'm pretty sure that world arm wrestling championships used to be in Petaluma too. There's a statue of two guys arm wrestling.
Like arm wrestling?
Yeah, in downtown Petaluma. It's pretty sweet. And then you got Ugliest Dog competition,
Yeah.
It's kind of like a hidden gem, I think.
It is. It's a gateway. You mentioned it. It's a gateway to wine and food. Up in Sonoma and Napa, one of my favorite people. I think one of your favorite people. I know your mom does some work with him on the financial side. I think you might have been on Triple G. Am I wrong about that with our boy Guy Fieri?
Yeah, my parents were on.
It was your parents.
Yeah.
On Triple G. Yeah. So I want to hear about your relationship with Guy because I'm a big fan. But I also want to know, at ASU, what were you throwing down? What was your go-to if Spencer had to throw down for dinner? What did you throw down in the kitchen?
Oh my gosh, I'm not
What
sure.
were you cooking up?
I wasn't in the kitchen very often. I lived in an apartment. I was, like a 18 to 20-year-old dude. I'm not chefing up some 5-star meals like Guy would, but I love myself some Raising Cane's.
Oh, me too.
Yep. And then there's a sushi restaurant called June. It was unbelievable.
Nice. We'll put it on the show notes. We love shouting out Tempe restaurants. I love my favorite place is Ted's Hot Dogs. I don't know if you ever messed with Ted's.
Oh yeah, that was by my condo with my buddies. We had a 3-bedroom condo, and I think Ted's Hot Dogs is right there on
McClintock and Broadway.
Yep, Broadway. I was on Broadway.
Okay. A great street right there. McClintock had tons of good Mexican food, but Ted's always stood out. On game days, we used to go to Sun Devil Stadium for Cardinals games, and it would be Ted's for us as a family. So it's got a special place in my heart.
That's awesome.
You got a restaurant in Petaluma that the family used to go to, or a special spot that you guys used to hit on the regular?
So when I was a kid, we'd go to Graziano's, but that's not around anymore. I think I'd probably go Cucina Paradiso. That place is legit. Italian food, unbelievable. Chicken parm. They don't always have it on the menu. It's sometimes on the special menu, but whenever my mom calls and says, "Hey, can we get chicken parm?" they know it's for me, so they chef it up special.
You're already pushing those buttons, that number one pick button, man. I'm with that though. I'm a sucker for chicken parm. Let me ask you this while we're still in the Bay Area too. You're sitting at home with a Torkelson fam. You guys rooting for who's your baseball team growing up in the Bay? Was it A's? Was it Giants?
No, always the Giants. Always the Giants. Yeah. Yeah, we had a couple good years, 10, 12, and 14. That was pretty sweet. But yeah, always grew up a Giants fan. Went to the game probably 5 or 6 a year with my parents, and it was a good time. It's a great place to watch a game.
Some great Sun Devils were also great Giants. Did that have any decision-making while you were kind of deciding to head to Tempe?
No doubt. Yeah, I say sometime whenever someone asks me like, "Hey, what one of the factors that went into your decision of picking ASU?" And I'm like, Barry Bonds, the greatest.
Barry, baby, tell him.
Went to ASU, man. So I did that going into my visit there, and that kind of persuaded my decision a little bit.
Is there a guy that's maybe still around from that 2014 team, like a Pence or a Posey, that you're gonna be like kind of in awe of when you go up against them for the first time?
I try not to be in awe at guys. I had my first taste of, being at summer camp with Miggy. And so I was on the same field as him, but I don't want to, fanboy over anyone. But it'd be pretty cool to play Buster Posey or Crawford, just play against them. Because I grew up.
My guy, if he showed up in my house or I saw him at dinner, if I saw Lincecum like in the streets, I'd probably do a little fanboy out, man. I got some great memories from those years. I mean, it was a great time to be in the Bay Area. Such a cool time. Yeah.
Those Giants parades. I remember I begging my mom to skip school to go to the Giants parades. I couldn't do it, but
it was a good time. Something else that's a really good time in Tempe is what Coach Hurley's doing with the Hoops program. And I love their free throw behind the baseline seats, to disrupt the free throws. I think it's so legendary.
Yeah.
Did you participate? Did you check out some hoops in Tempe, and did you ever participate?
I went to a couple games, yes, but never participated in the curtain of distraction. I know Mike Phelps showed up one day. That'd be pretty wild. I would clank that pretty quick if I see that.
Yeah, you could have got in there and took some hacks, you know. Somebody would have watched that soft touch and missed or something.
Maybe next time you're back there on campus, we got to set that up after this whole pandemic is over with.
Yeah, no doubt.
For sure, man. Hey, you're down in Lakeland, Florida. Tell me if I'm wrong. I thought I saw you rocking number 73. The only other 73 I know was Rodman. Pulled out that 73, Jay. I think you were 20, if I'm not mistaken, at ASU. You gonna roll with 7'3"?
No, that's like that's like the minor leaguer number when you get to big league summer camp. But in Lakeland right now, I'm rocking 19. I think there's like 3 of us rocking 19. we don't get to pick and choose our numbers yet. We got to make it to the show first.
Yeah, for sure, man. You're a humble dude, man. I appreciate that.
Spence, something else you honed in kind of Tempe was your on-base percentage, and you really had that clicking by the time you left college earlier this year. And your OBP was high, and you have a really good eye, and you drew even more walks than strikeouts in your college career. And so you're kind of like that classic corner infielder, Billy Bean, Moneyball type player. Is OBP something you focus on, or what's going to be your biggest adjustment?
It's that ping pong game.
Yeah, I know where the strike's at now, but I think I pride myself on being like a complete hitter. I don't want to be labeled as, just some big power guy that strikes out 100, 80 times. So yeah, I like to have good at bats because on base percentage, I think it's an actual statistic that the teams that have won the World Series the last however many years lead the major leagues in the top 3 in on base percentage, and obviously pitching wins championships, but on base percentage has is a big reason as well.
It's a big component. It's almost like rebounding in basketball.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. You don't have to spill the secret sauce. I'm always curious. We had Adam Kennedy on, and I was asking him similar about just seeing signs from second base and kind of that. But when you step into the batter's box and your head, because like I think of myself when I'm doing something big, like I get nervous and like jittery and my heart starts going. When you step into the batter's box, is there something that you tell yourself? Is there a Zen moment? Is there a saying? Do you just say, shut the hell up and focus?
I kind of got my routine going up to the plate, and it kind of, throughout time of doing that routine for a couple of years, it kind of just locks you into the at-bat. You got a few key things that you tell yourself, like, middle, like stay in the middle, or, quick hands. Don't try to do too much. Just little sayings like that just keep you on it. And
is it a repeat? Is it a repeat with those sayings, or is it a one and done?
It depends. If I'm not feeling it that day, sometimes you're cold. You gotta really tell yourself, that you gotta stay inside of it. You gotta shoot some the other way. You can't. A lot of people say, you can't. The best hitters are dumb. I mean, I kind of believe it, honestly. I'm not dumb, but you can't be thinking, you can't be stressing out too much.
No, you're right, man.
The guy throws way too hard to be thinking up there.
I don't even think that's that negative of a thing to a certain degree, because the power to quiet the mind, I think maybe we can call it Buddhist instead of dumb, but that power to quiet the mind, is powerful. So I'm always interested with guys who especially can have great at bats, what's going through their head. So thanks for sharing that.
Kind of on the opposite side of that, though, how important to you is studying pitchers going to be? I don't know how much you guys did in college, or the available film for a lot of the schools, but I know in the majors that's huge. Is guys like Pujols and classic sluggers over the years, they talk about how much they studied opposing pitchers. Is that big? Is that big for you?
Yeah, I mean, when you're Albert Pujols, you've been in the league for however many years. You build relationships with those pitchers, so like what that guy's thrown to you to get you out in the past, and what pitch you've hit out on them and stuff like that. But for me, I like to keep it real simple right now. I like looking at tendencies, but at the end of the day, they got to throw it in that square, and if it's in that square, you got to do damage to it. But if I get thinking too much, fastball here, curveball here, fastball, it's maybe. You got to be yes, 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 no, instead of. You can't be maybe, then yes, because then you suck. But if you're yes, 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 no, just trust your eyes, like ping pong.
Confidence, ping pong, yeah.
That's a good mindset. All right, Spence. We close out every interview with a quick hitter segment where I kind of ask some questions based around a specific theme, and you just tell me what comes to mind first. And for this one, I want to focus on your future home, Detroit, home of Eminem, Motown, the Pistons, the Lions, the Tigers, General Motors. I'm going to hit you with a bunch of 313 stuff. Is that cool?
All right, yeah, hit me.
Yeah.
All right, man. First one, let's see. Detroit style pizza. It's pretty unique and it's honestly delicious. They make their pies in rectangles with a thick crust and chewy. Are you a thin crust guy, a Sicilian guy, or is that Detroit pizza right up your alley?
I love all kinds of pizzas. I'm not gonna discriminate any pizza.
Hey, you're like a politician now, man. You got what's the Petaluma style? Is it thin crust? I know California's got a lot of thin.
We have a couple of places. I think it's just normal classic za. I just kind of
yeah. Bro, I never had a bad pizza. I never had a pizza that I said was like I hate it, I guess. Is the thing.
I love Dave Portnoy's, his
challenge
interviews. Those get me going. They're hilarious.
We might have to get those. We might have to get those popping with you in Detroit, because I think this Detroit pizza is a fad that might be around. I think they put the sauce on top, so we'll follow back up with you once you're in town. Perfect.
All right, Comerica Park. You'll be in that batter's box someday soon. It's one of the most beautiful parks in the country, and it's hitter friendly. So I'm a one-star recruit. My career highlight was hitting a ball to the wall at Tempe Diablo Stadium. I had warning track power. But what's been the best thing about your experience at Comerica so far? I know you had some workouts out there.
It was great to just be around all the guys that are on the big club, and even guys like me that are working their way up, grinding every day to be in that position. So there's not one. Maybe the first day I hit batting practice there, it was pretty sweet, because you grew up going to batting practice early at Giants games, then you see all the big leaguers and how good they are, and then you're stepping in the batter's box, you're like, damn, I'm that guy now.
How'd it feel to hit that first one out?
Oh, great. I wasn't watching. I was kind of in the zone. I was like, it's my first day on the job.
It's like a good golf shot too. Keep your head down, on the first tee. Just keep that head down and hope that it stays. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, basketball. Can you see yourself out there at Little Caesars Arena yelling Detroit basketball? Are you holding true to that Warriors Bay Area roots when it comes to hoops?
Question.
I mean, I'm a Detroit Tiger now, so I'm all Detroit. Lions, Pistons, Red Wings. I'm all in.
Love it. Man. It's a great fan base up there, and something else about Michigan is it's surrounded by literally some great lakes. Are you a lake guy? And if not, what kind of non-baseball activity are you most excited about checking out in Michigan?
Yeah, I'm more of a lake guy than a beach or an ocean guy.
Nice.
Because I love wakeboarding, tubing, and fishing. So I think fishing is going to be a hobby of mine up there. Hopefully I find some good spots.
Yeah, we might have to find a sponsor for this show at a fishing place. I'm sure they'd love to be are you a Lake Tahoe guy? Is that the spot where you guys will go to when you in the Bay Area? Shasta?
Shasta's good. I like was it Blue Lakes? Blue Lakes is nice.
Blue Lakes up in the Bay. I know Lake Wildwood used to be one of my favorites, man. Yeah, Lakes rep. We need to start representing a little bit more for lake life. I think it is a really relaxing style of recreational life.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, and last one, the walk-up song. Eminem to me is the GOAT, straight from Detroit. And if you come out to lose yourself in your first at bat, that entire stadium is gonna go nuts. Are you gonna deny those fans that, man? What's your walk-up song?
That's probably the best idea I've ever heard, honestly. Because I remember, 7th grade basketball. We had we had 30 fans in the crowd. It's all of our parents and a couple of 7th grade girlfriends, and we're running out till I collapse. It was the best thing.
Hella pumped, right?
But yeah, Lose Yourself. That's a good song. That might have to be it.
If you have all those Detroit people behind you, man, even if you strike out, they're gonna go nuts for you. So we got you.
All right. This is Spencer Torkelson. You're listening to the One Star Recruits podcast. Go Devils.
Yeah, boy.
Love
Thank you, Spencer. Hey, you're a legend. We're gonna, if you don't mind, we'll stay in touch. If you're ever out in this area, we'd love to have you in studio. But best of luck. You're a great human, man. Your parents are amazing humans, and best of luck in the majors, bro.
Thank you guys so much. Yeah, no doubt. Hit me up.
Thanks, Spence. Have a good one.